Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Kids Free Open House. We're so glad that you joined us today. Today, family, we're going to have a phenomenal event. You, as an individual, have been brought to a team, and we want to share with you some information and tell you how you can be a huge contributor of Kids Eat Free.
Who is Soldiers Outreach? It began with a vision of me realizing that I believed that there was a group of people who saw what I was seeing and that I was not the only one, and that it was possible that we could come together and with pooling our resources, our energy, our love, we could make a difference in the community. What you're seeing is a group of soldiers, sold out, living, delivered in everlasting righteous service. And when I say sold out, meaning I'm sold out to the love that I'm experiencing, and I am doing any and everything I can to serve those. And what it does for the children is, especially on, when we do our feeding programs, our outreach programs, it helps them to know that they matter. The kids didn't ask to be here. They were brought here. They deserve to be able to eat free. And so as I began to see all the restaurants throwing food away, and I began to see how much waste was in my life, I said, it's gotta be something we can do. And Kids Eat Free was born out of that. It's been several things that have happened since we started Kids Eat Free. The first thing that blew me away is that we went and we set up a whole feeding system. We set up our tents and we went to a neighborhood and we said, Kids Eat Free. And I wasn't sure if people were going to show up. And when we set it up, the entire neighborhood showed up. And there was this one woman who was saying thank you. And I almost think that we got that on video. She was saying thank you.
I just let him know it was a great thing that he was doing today and able to save me at least one more meal for another day, because I was limited on my selection, so amen.
That's what Kids Eat Free is about.
And when I heard that, that pricked my heart. And I said, we got to continue to do this. I thought it was for the kids. I never thought that this thing was also feeding the families for the weekend. And the mothers and the parents were now coming to us saying, thank you. Let me tell you something. Times are hard. Times are so hard. And sometimes people's pride won't allow them to ask. But I believe that Soldiers is an organization where you don't have to ask. We just go ahead and show you. That's what Soldiers is about. That's why I think Soldiers is being effective. And I know there's so many more people who feel just like me and they just want to do something. Kids Eat Free is something that you can now do the rest of my life. I will be feeding children in any way, shape, or form, by myself, with help, or anybody. That's why I'm asking you to say, help us, join us. You ain't gotta, it's not a church, it's just love. We're just coming together to say, hey, we can come together and make a difference.
This is what community building, change, and revolution looks like. Our leaders, Deron and Jill Cloud, the founders and CEO of Soldiers Outreach, as well as Kids Eat Free. This started 25 plus years ago, family. And I, that young man you see on the right, was once a recipient of this very program. My mom met with Deron and Jill, and it was a real small group of individuals who said they wanted to be the change they wanted to see. And they started just with one person at a time. And it has birthed into what you see today as Kids Eat Free. Well, I came on board, and I just served and learned underneath their leadership, as well as the team that is on this call. And as I moved up, they put me into a position where I can give more, where I can have the freedom to expand and use thought, innovation, leadership, resources, so we can go out and feed more kids who was just like me, and many just like you. So today, I stand as the executive director for the program. I'm simply a servant amongst a group of unique and dynamic individuals who you're going to get an opportunity to meet today. And if you can, make sure you listen to the wisdom of what they share and the information in which they share, ask questions, and have a good Perfect, perfect. So we're going to jump start into some information about how far we have come. Give you guys a little snapshot about what it takes to run Kids Eat Free and how God has blessed us and the community has served to make sure that we can do this program effectively. Good. So without further ado, let's jump into our next slide. Take it away, Steph.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for all just joining us. Thank you for sharing why you joined us today. So thank you so much. My name is Stephanie Goodwin. I've been with Kids Eat Free, I want to say since about 2015. And so, as Deborah mentioned, this is how far we've come. When we started our Kids Eat Free weekend backpack lunch program, our goal was to feed 10,000 children. So what you see are numbers for the school year. So 2016 to 2017, we met that goal. We exceeded that goal. 2017, 2018, we also exceeded that goal. So guess what? For the school year 2018, 2019, we increased our goal to 15,000. We were almost there. We did a great job, continuing to feed children, because that's our ultimate goal, not numbers, but to meet a need. And then we go into 2019 and 2020. We all know what happened with 2020 with the start of the pandemic. We were still able to be boots on the ground and meeting a need. Again, in 2021, which just finished, that school year, not just finished, but we had a goal again of 15,000. We were still meeting a need. Again, this year is 2021, 2022, and we are on our way to meet that need of 15,000. So ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. We want to meet the need, whatever that looks like. So we are very blessed. We are very fortunate to be able to be boots on the ground to help others. So I'm going to toss it to Carol.
Good morning. This is Carol Cottrell. Hi, good morning. I'm going to share a little about what it takes to prepare these lunches and the costs. Be very mindful that a lot of this money comes from donations, and we have food drives, and we do a lot of different things throughout the year to get money. So these are pretty much estimated costs and what it should have cost. Each week we deliver an estimate of about 385 lunches. Sometimes we go over, but on an average, we deliver 385 lunches. We do this about 36 weeks out of the school year. We provide over the course of the year an estimate of about 13,860 lunches. We have served approximately about 50,000, but we'll say about 49,567 lunches. We also partnership with another group that the Wilsons, and they deliver lunches to about 3 schools that add on to these numbers that we Kids Eat Free serve. And here is what things have been spent and what it costs. Per lunch, we spend about $3.77. Again, this could be more, but on an average, we spend about $3.77 per lunch, which I told you earlier, that's about 36 weeks in a school year. So approximately $52,252 we spend a year on food. Over the course of Kids Eat Free history, and again, this is on donations where we are looking to get more people to donate and to give, we've spent about $350,000. So this is where we need more people to come in and give and donate.
Sorry, Carol. All right, so and this is where we are right now. So we want to make sure that we can sustain Kids Eat Free, right? So how to sustain? Grants, like Carol said, donations. We want to have grants, gifts, partnerships with community stakeholders. So all those things help fund and help us with continue to be sustainable. So, one of our current goals is to have a facility, a pantry, which we can store our inventory, have classes, feed people, all those things. We want to have a food truck, right? We want to be able to pick up that inventory from, hopefully a partner that just wants to donate, so much to Kids Eat Free. We also want to be able to deliver to our different schools. Currently, we are using our personal vehicles, which is great. God has allowed us to be able to do that, but we would like to have a food truck with Kids Eat Free logo to be able just to deliver and pick up. And then we also want to have a kitchen within that facility. So a lot of times, and I'll speak to this a little bit later on, some future initiatives, we want to have a food education prep and even be able to fix food in our facility. Eventually our long-term goal is to have full-time staff. So to, run the facility, deliver, pick up, run the kitchen. So that is our long-term goal. So of course we need funds, we need people, we need volunteers, all of that to just continue to be sustainable and grow and to be able to continue to meet a need. And so next I will toss it off. I believe it is back to Dev.
Got you covered, sir. Thank you. Now, family, if you take a look at this organizational flow chart, you'll see the list of names that are the reason this organization exists and succeeds. They are the lifeline for Kids Eat Free. Our founders, Duran and Jill, I myself serve as the director, but the reason why this program works are these individuals you see in the red and the blue. We have a Maryland team that consists of Alita, Aaliyah, Karen, Stephanie, Curl, Kurt, Joanne, and Rhonda, and our Georgia team, Joyce, Lisa, Peaches, and Larry. And as we continue to share with you guys behind the scenes of how Kids Eat Free operates, see how cohesive and organic the communication flows between different members on the team and how they serve in different capacities. And if you shall choose to, imagine yourself and envision yourself in those roles and how you can be a contributor of these individual teams. So let's get into it, and please feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation. Take it away, Lita.
Hi, good morning. I'm Alita Jordan. I am the Executive Administrator for the admin team, and we are the information center, the gateway to all of the other programs that's under the umbrella of Kids Eat Free.
And I'm Aaliyah Johnson. I am the lead administrator. I handle donation sites, organizing meetings, and scheduling and hosting and planning of those meetings. And then we're going to have a PowerPoint to show you a little bit about who we are and what we do to contribute to the overall team. Just give us a second as it loads. All right, again, Alita Jordan, Aaliyah Johnson. Next for me, please. And then, like Alita mentioned, we are the information team. So we handle all prep arrangement, management of paper and digital information. And then we also assist Devereaux, Carol, Steph, Rhonda, and Joanne with their daily needs and to make sure the operation is flowing successfully. Next for me. And then this is a list of things that we manage together or individually. We're making sure that everything is organized. We create schedules and meetings. We also help with the recruitment of volunteers and ensuring that you guys are trained by the proper people based on what you like and see yourself being the best fit for. And we also, of course, with us always wanting to make sure things are fun and engaging, we help with assisting with that, managing storage platforms. And then when you guys look at our website where you see the wish list, we also handle that. And then we are open to any questions you guys have or ideas that you want to drop in the chat box or just come off mute and answer, and I can answer them for you.
What is the wish list?
So the Kids Eat Free wish list is through, we have two. We have one through Amazon and then one through Walmart. And they literally listed different things that we would need to pack lunches weekly. So the Chef Boyardee's that we use, the Belvitas, the hot chocolate, the goldfish, those different snack items, as well as entrees and beverages that we need. So it's literally a list. We also have one, you'll learn about Samaritan's Choice as well, and their needs for the homeless population.
In Georgia and
it's for both Maryland and Georgia.
Thanks, Aaliyah and Alita. So as we wait till the slide comes up, I am again Stephanie Goodwin. I am program coordinator of Kids Eat Free. I'll talk a little bit more about that in my presentation. But again, our programs, meaning our events, our initiatives, so that all falls under the category of program coordinator. So a picture here is a picture of an inventory picture. Now, this is not our Kids Eat Free inventory as of yet, but I will use this example through our presentation just to kind of speak to it a little bit. Next slide, please. So program coordination team. So as Deborah had mentioned earlier, we are a very, very collaborative team. A lot of things overlay, just like these hands in the pictures, a lot of us, we just overlay our roles. So we are very collaborative in our efforts as a team. Next slide, please. So, and this is just a picture of our Kids Eat Free events. I don't want to make COVID the thing, but pre-COVID and during COVID. So picture on the top left, starting at the top left, that is Kids Eat Free food drive. At that particular time, we were at Sam's Club. So if you can kind of see in the background, you can see, you know, the food that we collected. So that's one of the ways that we get donations to be able to feed kids. It's an awesome thing. Then we have the weekly food deliveries. We also had an event, 1,000 meals in a day, which we again collaborated with Sam's Club, and you see the food there. We had a lot of volunteers. It was awesome. A great way. We like to have fun. So, you know, it's a great way to do that. And then we had some other events. We have uniform, we collect for uniforms. We had a school drive supply giveaway last year at the beginning of the school year. And then one of the initiatives that we would like to do is food education. A lot of times we give food, but to be able to educate people on the best choices with food. A lot of times people think that to eat healthy is expensive. Not necessarily so. The reality is healthier food gives you more nutrition. You hear about malnourishment. It doesn't necessarily mean malnourished because you're not eating a lot of food. It's because the food itself doesn't have a lot of nutrients. So that's one of the initiatives that we would like to have this year. Next slide, please. So what we like to do as an organization, we want to bring hope and love to our community through food, resources, awareness, educational opportunity, advocacy, and of course, fun. You'll hear that throughout. We like to have fun as a team. It's a great thing. So some of our events initiatives currently is Kids Eat Free lunch delivery that happens every week. As Carol had mentioned earlier, it's about 385 lunches a week. We pack that. We use volunteers. So it's a great thing. Next, we have food drives. That's one of the initiatives that's coming up, hopefully in April. So, if you could think about some different ways that we can have a food drive. We were going to have a food drive in February. However, January, we were going to have a food drive. However, because of, everything that kicked up with the variant, we weren't able to partner with Sam's Club. So what are some different ways that we could have food drives? How could we do it virtually? So maybe you could be thinking of some ideas like that. Then we have school supply, uniform, and coat drives. Throughout the year, we have, of course, at the beginning of school year, school supplies, uniforms, and then we have coats, which usually starts around October, and that's coordinating with Samaritan's Choice as well. Then show your thanks by giving. I don't know if anybody participated in that, but we had that in November until the end of the year. So that was something that we did, another fundraising opportunity. 1,000 meals a day, talked about that. We had a partnership with One More Plate. So we definitely, with program coordination, it's definitely a lot of reaching out and being creative and how we can bring funds, how we can bring connections from the community to be able to continue and grow Kids Eat Free. We haven't done this during COVID, but Tinker Toddler Lab. It was a great interactive initiative. Kids were hands-on, feeling things. It was just creative, loved it, Creative Mind Lab. Get kids to think outside of the box. Awesome opportunity. We may not be able to physically meet, but how can we do that virtually? How can we connect? Because all of Kids Eat Free basically is about connection. And then we have next, food education. So that's the initiative that we are hoping to roll out this year, just to give simple, nothing complicated, but something simple. Like, for instance, we talk as a team, oodles and noodles. My daughter, she talks about, Mom, what are you doing with these oodles and noodles? You can make a pack of oodles and noodles very nutritious. You can, get some fresh spinach, things like that. Don't use the whole salt packet. So, some of those things that we can make, just little tweaks to help. And then finally, we have parent education. So that's something else that we would like to talk about. We hear in the news about our youth. A friend of mine sent me a video, but we hear about our youth, right? And we're concerned about our youth. They have potential, but they need love. They need hope. So that's what we're doing at Kids Eat Free, bringing that hope and love to the community, because like Deborah said, we've all been at a place where we might have had lack, or we might not have had, the foresight to see something better. So we want to bring that love and hope to the community. So this slide here is just showing how Kids Eat Free as a whole, again, we are very collaborative. We bring resources, community partners, businesses, vendors, education, and we connect that to the community. So we are like that bridge. If you want to see that, that's our goal, to be that bridge between the resources and the community. Next slide, please. So I'm just going to take you through an event, and we'll use the food drive because that's the upcoming event that we have, just to kind of go through what we do a little bit. Again, we are very collaborative as a team. I'm going to keep saying that. So purpose, like food drive. What is the purpose? The purpose is to get food, whether it be donations, physical food, to feed the kids. We need inventory. Then next we have planning, again, collaborative. What date are we going to set? Administration, Aaliyah and Lita, absolutely, and Carol, we all, again, work collaborative. Like, what does that look like? I can have some ideas. My brain is like this. I constantly run it through administration, the whole team, and we kind of whittle it down. So it's awesome. What does this look like? What is needed? What partners? What volunteers? Marketing. We use Joanne, Rhonda, just all that. And then next we have connect. So the program coordination team is that connection piece, that face to the community stakeholders or the vendors. Like, for example, my introduction to Sam's Club, I went, talked to the management. As a team, we talked about this idea, and it's worked great for them and for us, because, it's a win-win situation. So that program coordination, like what connects do you have to be able to make this, bigger? Like, show your thanks by giving. We reached out to vendors. We need videos for that. So just that connection piece. So program coordination has a lot to do with being the face and the hands and the feet of connecting those stakeholders, community partners. So then next is the day of the event. So the day of the event, we are not done as program coordinators. Administration, number one, to keep us in line with what we need to do. I thank God for them, because, it's just the little things, successes in the little things. So, and they think of those things. And as a team, we think of those things that are needed. And then we assist with partners and volunteers. We're boots on the ground. We still help. And then follow up. We still want to connect and make sure we connect afterwards, whether it be with the vendors or whoever, just to continue to connect with them and build that relationship. And it's a work of heart. It's a whole team. It's a work of heart. So, and that's what we do. And that's just an example. So just think about some things of how you can help. Do you have some connections? Do you think you have some people? And it could be, personal connections that you have. Some people who you've been talking to your friends. It's like, I want to help in an organization. We truly think that, working with the organization, it makes people want to help more. So what connects do you have? Do you have a business? Do you know somebody who has a business that can help with bringing in donations. So just be creative. If you want to put in the chat, feel free. But that's it for program coordination. So if you have any questions, please let me know. So next, I'm going to toss it to Miss Joanne.
Hello, everyone. I'm Joanne Davis. I am the marketing coordinator for Kids Eat Free and for Soldiers. Marketing is basically letting people know who we are and what we do. Click next for me. So in marketing, with the marketing team, what we do is increase CAF Soldiers brand awareness and help carry out its mission through promotional advertising. So what is marketing? At a fundamental level, it's bringing together potential clients or customers and getting them to be interested in your product and services. Next for me. So client and customers, you can look at it as our audience. And who is our audience? Volunteers, donors, sponsors, corporations. Information, these are the people we want to get the information to so that we can engage them into helping us with our mission and vision. So our services is our mission and vision. And what is our mission and vision? Fighting food insecurity and meeting the needs of the homeless community. So what we do, marketing team, we do what is called content marketing. If you look at the diagram, you'll see that it touches many areas and many avenues of how we promote events and increase our brand awareness. Next, please. Click next for me. There we go. So I like to say content is king. So content marketing is just the technique of creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content. And that's to attract and acquire our audience. So click next for me. So at Kids Eat Free, we want to engage that audience through the use of content. What is our content? Flyers, images, videos, quotes, taglines, infographics, etc. And we do that through different marketing avenues such as email, social media, websites, and our events. Next for me. So these are some of the examples of our content. What you have up top here is our Kids Eat Free social media banner. Now, this is brand awareness. If you look across all our social media, you'll see that this banner is consistent across the top. So no matter whatever social media account you go to for Kids Eat Free, this is what you'll see. Our Kids Eat Free social media accounts, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and then we also have a YouTube account. The one below that, this is the flyer for our weekend backpack program. Again, this is a mission awareness, and clearly it states on the flyer, helping to alleviate food insecurity with school children over the weekend. Click next for me. At the top left, this was our back to school supplies and uniform drive. This was a campaign that we started back in August, September of last year. We do it at the beginning of every school year. And just to supply uniforms and school supplies to our kids. So this flyer was an example of campaign awareness. Below is a flyer for a thank you flyer. Our donors are very important to us. So we like to let them know that we appreciate them. We thank them for their donations. So we sent out a flyer just saying that we appreciate your generosity and for supporting us through COVID. The pandemic We had to get a little creative in our marketing and with everything we did as far as getting the food that we need to get to the children. Next, please. This is our virtual fundraiser that we did in February of last year. Now, this is an example of event marketing where the event is to allow engagement face to face. Well, in this case, we did it a virtual event online, a live event to engage our audience to help us reach our goal of $5,000. Next, please. And lastly is email marketing, which is a big part of marketing. We try to send out e-blasts at least once a week, promoting any campaigns we have going on. For this one, this was the coat drive that we did back in October, November. Also, it has on there to remind people to continue to support Kids Eat Free and families, and to let them know about the food pantry in Atlanta. So this is an example of cross-content marketing, where you have everything coming together. You have a video, a flyer, image. So with marketing, once we set a plan in motion, whatever we come up with as far as our graphics, our images, or video, it goes across all the platforms. Next one for me. And finally, social media. As I said before, we have a Kids Eat Free Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram account. And these are just some of the posts that we have going out to our social media accounts. Rhonda, who will be up next, she's part of a part of the marketing team, as well as some other areas that she covers. And this is what she primarily does every week, being creative, coming up with flyers to go along with the post on, showcase the post on our social media accounts. I'm sorry, I got distracted there with sending out messages. Next, please. Okay, so how do we do this? It looks like it's kind of hard to do this, or you don't know exactly how we do this. Well, we have what I call the tools of the trade, different programs, different applications that help us do this. I believe all of us have a creative side. I didn't start out knowing how to do this. This was learning as you go. Working with other graphic artists to see what they do, to get their ideas, even going on the internet and looking at examples of different flyers and banners. Like, for example, the flyer for this event, I actually went out and did a search. I saw one I liked, and I just kind of used that as an example to create that flyer. Next for me, please. Primary tools of the trade that we use. The first one is Canva, which is basically a designing app. We use that to create our flyers, posters, banners, videos. Next, please. Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a social media management platform. As I stated before, we have 3 social media accounts, and we just publish everything from one dashboard. Next, please. Constant Contact, that's our email marketing software. Next, please. XWeb, that's the platform we use for our website building. Next, please. Eventbrite, that's the event registration platform we use for our live experiences. Next, please. And then our video content creation tools. We work in conjunction with the video team and creating video content for our events, for our campaigns. So in the end, it's just like Stephanie is saying, it's a collaborative effort of us coming together, bringing our ideas together, and putting that in graphic form. Anybody have any questions? Okay, well, I look forward to hearing from you guys and sharing your ideas. And if you like to know a little bit more, you can just reach out to us. Next, I'm gonna pass it over to Rhonda.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to have you all here. As you can see, I'm the team lead for Financial Engagement Committee. And I also, as Joanne said, I help her with social media. And as she said, when I started out, I did not know how. And, just through doing it, and learn with the tools that she provides, it helped me learn how to do it. And also working with admin. When they asked me to start putting stuff on Google Drive, I really wasn't familiar with it. But I found that the more, you do it, the more, you learn. Now I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a minute. And I'm going to pull up for you. Now, there we go. All righty. This thing keeps giving me all these little comments. I see what Joanne meant. It kind of distracts you. So I hope that someone would like to join me on the Financial Engagement Committee. This is fairly new, but as Stephanie shared, we do get donations from individual donors, and I think Carol talked about it too. But in addition to individual donors, we're going to talk about other ways the committee carries out activities to get grants and how you can help. Now, grants will help us do that chart that Stephanie showed us about the truck and the facility and the kitchen. Grants would be a great way to be able to get a large sum of money to be able to purchase things of that nature. In addition, there are different types of grants. So one may be where we can get a grant where we can purchase a large amount of food in order to feed more kids. Right now, we have people who reach out to us, but because of our funding, we cannot accept everybody into the program. And it would be great to be able to bring in more schools and feed more children. And since grants are generally one time, that's why going after a big purchase that would last a long time would be the best way to use grant money. Now, what we do is we conduct research to identify possible grants, and there's various ways that can be done. That can be done through going on Google searches or going on different or business websites to see if they offer grants. And once we get that information, we want to have a way where the team has access to it. So we compile the information in order to apply, meaning that a lot of the grants, they want the same type of documents and similar information. So instead of creating the same thing over and over again, we are going to maintain what we gather. And then there may be some questions. The organization may need some information that is not really clear. So what the engagement committee will do will go out and reach out to those organizations. What we want to do too is keep records on submission requirements, because sometimes We might not get a grant this year. We fell a little short, but that doesn't mean we can't apply next year. So we keep that information, and we want to keep up with the dates because we don't want to miss a date because nobody was monitoring that. So that's going to be a good fit for our committee. And then there's a depository that we keep with information. Now, in addition to grants, we have partnerships, and you also heard a little bit about that. Stephanie talked about how through her program coordination, she reached out to SAMS, and Kirk, he developed a relationship with Giant Food. So what we do is they help us feed kids, we help them sell their product. So it's a win-win. And in addition, when we did the 1,000 meals in a day, we partnered with One More Plate. And so through that collaboration, we were able to amplify our reach because we reached out to our audience and informed them of One More Plate. And then One More Plate did the same thing. When they reached out to their audience, they informed their audience of Kids Eat Free. So it's a win-win. And partnerships are generally ongoing. They are not like a grant where, you get the grant and pretty much the relationship after that ends. Now, it's doing the footwork for partnerships is similar to the grant work. We conduct research to find out possible partnerships, and we maintain the depository. It's electronic, and we also respond to requests, similar to what we do for grants. Now, how you can help. Now, I heard one person say they're in Atlanta and one person say they're in Baltimore, and as you know, most of us are in the general area of Forestville, and I'm saying Forestville because that's where the church, was housed, and that's where most of us are. But I think Devereaux, he's in Baltimore too. I think he's a Baltimore person. So from the comfort of your own home, be it a house, be it a boat, a converted bus, if you're on the West Coast, or if you're in another country, this is something that you can do because you can do it from your own house because it's generally done on the computer. Now, you can conduct your research. Some people just have that knack for research. And if you have research skills, I can really use you on this committee. And also, if you haven't done research before, we can still use you because I had to learn how to do it. And on the committee, also, you keep out an eye and an ear for partnership tips. Sometimes I just run across things like Prince George's County. They have newsletters that come out. And in those newsletters, they will mention different types of grants. And that's how sometimes we get information that a grant is opening. So you just kind of have, keep your eye and ear out and create documents. We would need someone, who can come in and help us create the documents that we need. And by that, I mean, each grant has specific information they want. And we can help the other team members pull the information together because while they're carrying out their admin or marketing, we would be putting the documents together to get this done. And then also we can use help in monitoring the calendar for submission dates. Now, I've talked about how the committee carries out the responsibilities and how you can help. Now it's your turn. If you have questions or if you have ideas, now's your time to ask your questions, or as I said, you can save it for a little later. Anybody have any questions or ideas or comments at this time? Okay, well, if not, thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to Carol Cottrell.
Hi, I'm Carol Cottrell, and I am the outreach coordinator. I serve as the outreach coordinator for the Kids Eat Free weekend program. I have been with Kids Eat Free from the very beginning and its startup. How can you help? I'm glad you asked. As we go through this presentation, there are going to be things you can go into the chat, and then I'm also going to share some ways how you can help. I am responsible for communicating with our partners, school administrators, and volunteers to our program. Examples of this, we have to call, send emails, stay involved with our program and our services. So this is an ongoing thing. You have to keep everybody involved so that they know what is going on from day to day, the events, the activities, and just getting everybody on the same page so that we can work together. We have to manage and keep our partners and our school administrators updated with all the Kids Eat Free requirements and activities. And some of our partners are the schools, our grocery stores, our donors, and we also have one big apartment that we work with, Wingate. So we have several different partners in the school. Administrators include the teachers and the principals and the administrators. Managing, okay, we talked about that, and I talked about reaching out to them. We train the volunteers to serve and support the Lunch Back program, determine what work is needed to accomplish the goal, assign those tasks to individuals, verify the volunteers' availability, receive their feedback, schedule and assist the volunteers for packing and the events and activities. And sometimes what that looked like is when we're doing a food drive, we may be at 4 different locations and we're there all day. So we have to make sure that we have volunteers at every site, every location. So some may work in the morning, some may work in the afternoon, some can come to Hyattsville, some can come to Laurel. They come to different places. So we have to work with them, get their feedback, their availability, and then train some how and what to do. Because when you're just passing out a flyer, you don't just want to pass out a flyer. When you put that flyer in someone's hand, you want to put love in the hand. You want to let them know what they're giving to, why they're giving it. And when they go into that store, they bring it back out and give it to us. We want to know where to put it because it's going somewhere. We're just not throwing it on a truck, but we are packing it and sending it and delivering it to someone. We collect data for operations for our weekend backpack program. So that is when you saw several of the slides before, we have to keep up with how much money is being donated, how much money we need to do and keep the inventory. So it's a lot of data, even keeping up with the individual's telephone number, email, so we can stay in contact with them. So it's not just as, we just throw it out there. We have to keep everything in order. Assist with potential partnerships that's looking for new partners. I know our team has been reaching out to a new store that's over in the Central Avenue area, just keeping people involved and getting new people on to help keep the kids and the community from being hungry. Prepare to act as one of the spokesperson for the core team. Just be available to do where there's a need. If you have to lead a meeting or if you have to go talk to a potential partner, we all, as they said, collaborate and work very well together and have fun. Maintain a positive attitude, stay calm, because you're going to be out dealing with the public and people. Sometimes they are up, sometimes they're down. You don't know where and what you're going to meet. So keep a positive attitude at all times. Respond to the community in love and promptness. Get back with someone when they call you. I try to, within 24 hours, answer the text, the email, or the calls, and dealing with people, because during COVID, in our Ajax community over in District Heights, we had several families that were displaced from fires, and those individuals needed to get food, clothing, Pampers, milk, a lot of things. So we wanted to make sure we got back to them and got back to them within a decent time, not just, hey, we got you, we'll get to you anytime. These people needed these things and wanted to know that we were there for them. So be prompt and do it in love. Thank you, and looking forward to you guys joining us as a team or individually or as a whole. Thank you. And I'm going to toss it to Karen.
Thank you. I'm Karen Wilson, and I'm the Assistant Team Lead for Samaritan's Choice. And for Samaritan's Choice Ministry, we go out to the different shelters and to people on the street and provide meals or clothing or things that they need. Also, my husband, Kirk Wilson, is the team leader for Samaritan's Choice. We also help out with Kids Eat Free. I help pack the lunches for Allenwood and Samuel Chase Elementary Schools. Kirk helps with the packing of lunches, but he also delivers the lunches to the schools on Fridays, and also provide to the schools school supplies, uniforms, or anything else that we need. Now for Samaritan's Choice, thank you. As I said, we serve the homeless, and it could be other people in need that don't necessarily need to be homeless, by providing meals, clothing, or whatever they need. Next slide, please. These are examples of places that we serve. We serve the Mitch Snyder Community for Creation Nonviolence Homeless Shelter at what we call 2nd and D Street in Washington, D.C. And we also serve the people there on the street. And also we serve the Prince George's Men's Shelter that's located in Capitol Heights, Maryland. We bring them a meal on the third Thursdays. And then also for the 2nd and D Shelter, we provide a meal on the 2nd and 4th Thursdays of the month. And we have a number of people that help us. I send out the emails to our volunteers at the beginning of the week. Our volunteers provide items such as food items, water, fruit, and other items that we need. Also, we need items as containers for the food, utensils for the people to, packets for the people to eat with, and other items. So we're looking for your help on those type of things. Also for Shepherd's Cove Homeless Shelter for women and children. Right now, we don't serve them a meal, but we provide things that they need. Just a few weeks ago, we took them coats so they could have that. And we also serve the people that are on the street, and then also people who are in tent cities, anywhere where someone has a need of that nature. Next slide, please. How can you help? Right now, Kirk does most of the cooking for the 2 shelters. For 2nd and D, he cooks for about 75 to 115 people, but we also have people come and bring different food items to help, to supplement that and to help with what we need. And then also Kirk cooks for the men's shelter, and he cooks for about 75 people, although they have like 30 some men there. He wants to make sure they have at least 2 meals from what we bring. And at both locations, we provide coats, hats, thermals, socks, gloves, anything, toiletries that the men and women need for the shelters and the people on the streets. And For the next slide, please. So covered how Samaritan Choice carries out its responsibility and how you can help. So we look forward to your ideas of how we can better service the homeless community, and look forward to your questions. Again, if you don't have any questions at this time, look forward to your questions later and ideas of how you can help. We look forward to, if you come up with ideas for fundraising or any that type of thing like that. Also, people who are good with spreadsheets to help us with keeping track of meals and other items. So we look forward to having your help on the Samaritan's Choice Ministry. Thanks. And then next, we're going to go to our Atlanta. Just to mention them, we have a team in Atlanta for administration. And then we also have a team in Atlanta for Samaritan's Choice. They couldn't be here today, but they're here with us in spirit. And again, they're looking for volunteers to help with their efforts as well. Next, I'll pass it over to Deborah.
Wonderful job. Thank you so much. So family, you had the opportunity to see a very clear snapshot of how we operate behind the scenes. Some of our upcoming events that you can be a first-hand advocate for is our lunch deliveries, Friday, February 11th, Friday, February 18th. Also, we have some food drives that are planned and scheduled April 2nd in Laurel, Maryland, and you'll receive more information about that through our e-blast as well as our team communication. So we want to show you a outro video that gives you very clear ways that you can be a huge contributor and advocate for Kids Eat Free.
You're probably asking yourself, well, how do I get involved? I hear your vision. I hear what you're trying to do. I'm ready. You can come volunteer to help us pack lunches. You can help us distribute the lunches on Fridays, because we're going to have to go to several schools at a time. You can volunteer to help unload the tents and all the things that we do to set up our facility. You may be someone who knows how to plan and say, oh, we're going to set this here, we're going to set this here, and this is what we're going to do. You may know someone who can help us. Like we had a blessing. We were able to go to a grocery store in Hyattsville. It was a sister who heard what we were doing, and she just said, hey, y'all come on. And we got so many lunches. I was just amazed. You may know someone who says, hey, we'll partner with you. Whatever type of help you can bring. I could try to name it all day long. You know what you bring to the table. So there you have it. My name is Deron Cloud. I represent Soldiers Outreach. If you don't know who I am, ask somebody. But if you know me, look at my history, look at my heart, look at the service that has been provided to the community over the years, and ask yourself, is this something you can be a part of? Anything that you give will be a blessing. Anything. I thank you. Service is the rent you pay while you're here on this earth. It's just time to take a stand. And let's stand for these children, because nobody else is.
It's time, it is time, it is time, family. It's time for you to use your gift, your talent, your heart to serve, to help us feed more kids in the community. You'll see a link here that gives you more of an opportunity to indicate which team you would like to join. And please note, as my team stated, we work in a collaborative effort, so you can be a part of multiple teams to give your gift. I want to share this last thing with you all before we conclude. We know the scripture that says, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. But watch how God used a few laborers to reach the masses. With your heart that gave, with your service and you showing up, your effort, soldiers, pull it down. We've been doing that for years, family. But we're going to another echelon now. And now we need more people to serve in a different capacity than just giving out food. So if you felt that you resonated with any of these things, I strongly encourage you not to hesitate. I strongly encourage you to move forward in that gift and that urge that you feel from God. And I strongly encourage you to take one step, even if you don't know the next 10. Because we are going to change this world, and we're going to do it one family, one child, one person at a time. So today is an honor for us to see this in fruition of you joining us, you being a part of this team, and us together, collectively, moving forward to be the change that we want to see. So let's honor God, let's honor our community, and let's continue to serve and give. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Keep an eye out for email correspondence from our team, and we appreciate you. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your day.